that's not gonna work. Whoa, almost ate shit. Gunther, what up, dude? Today's a fun day. It's an Evo day. Because today is the first day that we actually get to start putting the Evo back together and not just keep taking it apart. Because as much as I love taking the Evo apart over and over and over again, I want to put it back together. Oh God! Camera be trying to kill itself right now. You guys see that? So like I was saying, as much as I love having my Evo sit on jack stands in the shop, I don't. So we got some wheels for the Evo, as you guys saw. So we got a nice set of Koenigs back there. I'll get into more detail about that once we get to the shop. Brand new set of wheel bearings, clutch alignment tool just because I needed that. The engine's been set off to the machine shop, so maybe we actually might hit our goal of getting the Evo running by like February. So since we've gotten the Evo 8 here, we haven't really done anything to it aside from take it apart, order parts, see what's wrong with it, see what we need to do, go through what we had. I think today is actually the first day that we start putting it back together. My goal, like I said, my goal for this Evo 8 is to have it up and running by February. I don't know if I'm gonna meet that goal. It's a lot of parts that we need to get still. Entire fuel system, exhaust manifold, turbo, downpipe, catback, intercooler piping, a lot of map sensors, like a whole bunch of stuff, but we're well on our way. So I wanted to, like I said, I wanted to knock this out in little chunks at a time. So like focus on suspension first, move to drivetrain, move to interior, move to engine. That plan kind of got derailed a little bit. So with the giveaway we're doing with the EJ25, because I was already sending that short block down to out front, I went ahead and I just sent the 4G63 down there with it. So the engine for this car is on its way to California to go get detailed, bored, and honed. I also sent the pistons with it because they need the pistons to be able to bore the cylinders to the proper size, obviously, to make sure they're true and round. So our little Evo 8 here, which I finally have a name for, Eva, EVA, Eva the Evo, will hopefully be back on the road soon. And I am excited to announce that Koenig actually wanted to shoot over a set of wheels and help us out and sponsor the channel. So we're working with Koenig now, and the wheels that I got for the Evo, actually, like, I used to run Koenigs on my old 350Z years ago, so it's kind of cool to see like how their wheels have evolved. So once again, huge shout out to Koenig. These wheels are actually a lot, I think they'll fit the Evo rather nicely. So these are Koenig's hexaform wheels. So these are flow formed wheels. They're actually pretty light. They're not heavy at all. It's a 6-spoke design. I decided to get black because I have a black car, black wheels. It goes together. It flows. With our JDM bumper here, it'll look nice. So huge shout out to Koenig. Thank you. They sent over a complete set of their hexaform wheels. They are like I said, they're flow formed. They're not that heavy. These are an 18 by 9.5 plus 35? Plus 35, yeah, plus 35 on these ones. So I'm very excited to get some meats put on these. I'm thinking like a we'll probably do the Continental DWS like we normally do, but we'll probably go with like a 255, 35, 18 on these. I think it'll fill out the wheel arches rather nicely. So I'm excited. Once we get our new hubs on here, we're gonna test fit these on. So today we're gonna be knocking out rear wheel hubs, front wheel hubs, and probably some other stuff. I also have both of the Sparcos in here because if you guys remember, this car didn't come with seats. So we are repurposing the Sparcos from the 17 STI into this. So I do have a seat mount for the passenger seat. So I think that's where we're gonna start today, is getting that passenger seat bolted in first, just so I can minimize how many boxes I have sitting around. And then we're gonna jump over here to these wheel bearings. So these wheel bearings, I've been soaking in PB Blaster for like a week at this point. So I'm really hoping that these guys just come right out, because like last time I thought they were pressed in. They're only bolted in, so we're gonna have to unbolt them and beat the hell out of them to get them to come out of there. And I got the new ball joints. But the ball joints, I don't think I can get out without a press. I'm not gonna be able to get that out without a press. So I need to take this lower control arm off and take it over to a shop. Or we could just go buy a press and then press these out ourselves, clean up these lower control arms and throw them back in. So I can't get the front wheel hubs back in yet, but I can at least get the rears done today. So let's start things off by getting that Sparko in there, mounted up. One less thing sitting around. Just kidding, there's something I have forgotten. So on the driver's seat's technically the only one I can bolt down right now because I have sliders on it and mounts. And I don't have any for the passenger seat over there. And I only have the passenger seat mount because the driver's seat mount is on back order. So it looks like I'm not bolting in the seats yet, damn it. I was really excited for that, to be honest. So I'm just gonna put you in here. Oops, sorry about that door card. So we'll just have that like chill out right there for now. So let's just jump to wheel bearings. Let's try to get these front wheel bearings out first. I think I'm gonna start with this side because I already have the bolts undone for it. Then we can clean up these hubs a little bit. We'll run them through the parts washer, get them cleaned up, and then get our new wheel bearings, which are right over here, ready to be pressed in. I am gonna pull out all the wheel studs in here because I do have some ARP extended ones that'll just work a little bit better for what we're doing. So let me beat the hell out of this thing to try to get this wheel bearing out. So will this socket actually fit? Oh wow. 2, 3, and 4. So wheel bearing. What is the best course of action here? Vise. I have a vise. What am I doing? Hey, I got it. With only minimal freak outage. So there's our old wheel bearing. Was definitely rusted in there. I guess I can take this guy out now. Round 2. Oh yeah, dude, there's just PB blaster like leaking out of this guy. Oh, might help if I unbolt it. Again. Actually, these are literal garbage. I'm just going to throw them away. So we've got our old wheel bearings out of the front. So these two are the fronts right here. I need to run to the auto parts store here shortly, grab some grease so that way we can, and I'm gonna grab a little bit of sandpaper just to clean up any of that interior like rust in there. Just to give it a quick sand down. We'll put some grease in there, clean it up nicely, get our new wheel bearings put in here, but I can't get these on until I get those lower control arms off to go get that lower ball joint pressed out since we have new ball joints going in this. Before we jump over to the rears, I'm gonna go ahead and prep all of these new wheel bearings. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna set them up on their butt like that, and I'm gonna knock out all of these wheel studs here. And what we're gonna be doing is putting in all of these ARP extended wheel studs. Normally I don't go the route of doing extended wheel studs because most of the time it's just a pain to try to fit the stud behind everything when the bearings are installed on the car or when the hub is installed on the car. But when it's off the car, it's super, super easy. So you're just gonna take a hammer, knock out all the old studs, and then we're gonna use an open-ended lug nut to suck these in to their new homes right there. So I'm just gonna be using this lug nut right here to suck them all through. Normally if you have like a close end lug nut or something like that, you'd want to stack washers right here or something just to get the gap a little bit more there so you can really suck that wheel nut through there, or that wheel stud through there. But because these are open-ended, I can just let the stud come out the back end right there, and that should just suck it right onto this hub right here. So swap out some wheel studs. So I went ahead and I got one of the wheel bearings fully assembled here. Putting it in the freezer definitely did help. This thing feels 1,000 times better than those old ones did. So they're extremely easy to get in, surprisingly enough. No press in, anything like that. A rubber mallet over here or a rubber persuader will definitely help you. So we're about to do this one. So I'm going through and I'm using some Scotch-Brite and some brake clean just to clean up the inside of that bore right there. And then I'm throwing just the lightest touch of moly grease on the inside of this, so that way I can rotate it as need be to line up the bolt holes on the back side of that, because this guy is just held in with those 4 bolts on the back. So we got a brand new wheel bearing on this side. Looks good. Everything's nice, clean, crisp. We'll get this guy set aside. Let's do the next one. All right, so first up, let's Scotch-Brite it. This is only, what, 800 grit Scotch-Brite, so it's not enough to, like, we're not removing material. We're just cleaning it up a little bit just to get any, like, imperfections on the metal out of there, just to make sure our wheel bearing goes in nice and smooth. There's a little bit of, like, surface rust in there, and this is removing it along with the brake parts cleaner that I have, so definitely helps, makes things go a little bit smoother. I'm sure you don't have to do this, but you know what? Knowing me, I'm just going to take the extra time to do it. Lightest amount of moly grease here, just literally the lightest amount. You don't need a lot. It does have an orientation, by the way, so they don't go in any way you want. They can only go in one way. Just get it like nice and lined up there. Try to rotate it a little bit to where I need it, and then I'm gonna get a couple of these bolts in their home. Now I could use the impact and just like suck it in, but I'm gonna tap it in with the mallet first after I get these all temporarily threaded in. Just want to make sure I got a good amount of thread in there so that way I'm not just yeeting on these boys. Bam, look at that. Brand new wheel bearings for the front of the Evo. So we've got left and right done. So the front is done, not gonna worry about those. I'm gonna leave those chilling up there for right now. Next up, it's time to start fighting with the rears. So before I can even try to get this old, crusty, nasty wheel bearing off, I need to get this axle nut off. And that's gonna be a little bit of a pain because as you can see, there's no brakes on this car. I bought this car with no brakes on it. So what I think I'm gonna try to do first is I brought a 1/2" impact with me. I'm gonna try using that. So I'm gonna cut the cotter pin off on the middle right there. Try using the 1/2" impact that I brought. If that works, solid. We're gonna get both sides pulled off. If not, I'm gonna try to throw a rotor over this, pull the e-brake up, and hope to Lord that it holds. There is no e-brake pad left on here, so I have new e-brake shoes that we're gonna have to put on. I absolutely hate dealing with e-brake stuff like that, but this car absolutely needs it at this point. So let's try to get axle nuts off. That'll be a blast. Oh, thank the heavens. Woo-hoo-hoo! That is beautiful. I need that washer right there too. That is just absolutely beautiful, my friends. All right, let's go try the other side before I even attempt to pull anything off of here, because if I need to rip the e-brake up, I need to rip it up with all this stuff intact. So this axle nut comes off as well. Oh my God, dude. That's such a good feeling when things come off as they're supposed to. Dope. All right, now that I've got both of those, I'm not stressed about trying to get these axle nuts off. So let's go jump over to the other side of the car. I'm gonna leave this e-brake on so that way I have one side to reference. So that way when I go to take it apart and put it back together, I'm like, okay, I have an idea of how this goes back together. So let's go take the other side apart. My dream of having this Evo running, is my face dirty? Wow, surprisingly not too bad. My dream of having this Evo running by February is just getting pushed out farther and farther and farther and farther and farther and farther and farther. So we all already knew I had to order coilovers for the car. I need like all new rear bushings for like the entire rear suspension. I can't even get the rear hubs off. I need a pickle fork. There's so many ball joint style suspension components back there that hold all of the rear hub in place. I've smacked them with that sledgehammer for so long. I've put the nut on the actual stud coming off the ball joint, tried smacking the hell out of it. I cannot get them out. I need my pickle forks, but let me show you what I just found. So I pulled out the rear coilovers out of the car. I might just get the BC. I'm just gonna order some BC coilovers tonight. The car needs coilovers. Let's just bite the bullet and get them ordered. So it's gonna be a little bit hard to see down here, but this is the lower control arm for the rear. I don't even know how I'm gonna be able to show you guys this. Like, there's no good light down here. And dude, that is bad. And it's like every single joint on the suspension components that are doing that. It's annoying. But you know, it's project car. It's project car. Woo! It's kind of like what this Evo reminds me of. It's kind of like when you go to like Toys R Us or some like random toy company and you're like, I'm gonna build something like a box of Legos. This is a Lego. I'm literally building an Evo from scratch at this point. The only thing good about this car was the body. Like, that is the only thing good. I have literally either need to replace everything else, have bought things to replace other stuff, but it's project car. We're building it from scratch. You know, I'm not gonna let that get me down. It just means that when this car's done, A, it's gonna be that much sweeter that it works. B, it's essentially going to be a brand new Evo 8 in 2022 because that's when it's gonna, there's no way this thing's running in 2021, obviously, but it'll be a brand new 2022 Mitsubishi Evolution 8. Also, check this out. Part of the coilover broke off as I was pulling it out, so that's cool too, I guess, right? Yeah, these are just gonna go in the trash. I wouldn't recommend anybody use these. I wouldn't feel comfortable selling these to anyone. But on the bright side, I did get the e-brake disassembled over here, so here's the main reason I'm replacing the e-brake. Like, hey, look at how bad that is. There's no pad left. These are the new e-brakes, and there's like a lot of pad on there. I need to reuse all of the e-brake components, so I just have them in the box right now with the rest of the e-brake stuff. But there's not much else I can do with these rear hubs until I get a pickle fork in here. So let me clean up my mess, and then I think we're gonna jump over to the valve cover because I want to get those Dash 6 AN fittings that I have somewhere over here. I think they're in this little bag right here. Boop, they're on that little bag. I want to get those onto the valve cover, so let's do that. We're gonna do a little bit of powder coating. So we're gonna go ahead and get our intake manifold, our valve cover here, powder coated today. If we have time, we're just gonna knock everything out. All the Brembo, case halves, all of that stuff. I'm still waiting on the Brembo rebuild kit. I don't know why they're on back order. I'm gonna see if I can find one in stock tonight for the rears and the fronts, so that way we can get all the suspension put back on after we get it all off and replaced. The fronts should be pretty straightforward. I need to pull off those control arms, press those bushings out. I'm just gonna buy a press for the shop, to be honest. It'll be a little bit nicer to have our own press than to try to find a shop to do all this for us. So let me get set up for powder coating. Get this intake manifold done. I'm gonna fill up the air compressor, which will probably take like 10 minutes, so I'm just gonna step outside while that thing fills up. So I went through and I got the valve cover thoroughly cleaned. There was a lot of sand on the back side of the valve cover from when we sandblasted it. So I ran that through the parts washer like 2 or 3 times, sprayed it down with compressed air to get all that sand out. All of it's out now. The valve cover is a little wet though, so I'm gonna throw that in the oven to pre-bake. So that's gonna get all that moisture out. It's gonna pull out any potential oil. And then we're also gonna prep actually the rear calipers. So I left the pistons in. I'm just now pulling the pistons out of these. So a lot of people struggle to pull pistons out of Brembos. Let me show you one quick trick, and then let's throw the valve cover in the oven real quick, and then let me show you this trick quick. Quick trick. That's a tongue twister. Oh yeah. So we'll let that valve cover pre-bake for a little bit. Let me show you how to get these pistons out. So you guys can still see the piston is 100% in that caliper. So right here is the crossover hole for the Brembo. So that's how the brake fluid gets from one side of the Brembo to the other side. Now on these, you've got one bleeder right there. So I've already got these torn apart. So all I'm gonna do is stick some compressed air through that hole right there where your bleeder valve would normally be. I'm gonna put my finger over that hole where the passover through guy is, and that should pop the piston right out. Hole, finger. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, mama said pop you out. Oh, well, yeah, they both came out. Sometimes you get lucky and that happens. Dude, I'm gonna lose my mind. It's like every single time I try to do something, I'm missing this. I don't have that. I don't have this. I'm missing this one thing to make literally everything else work, and I've gone through everything I have in here to try to rob parts to make something work, and I just it's frustrating. It's very frustrating. And it's Sunday night at like 7 o'clock, so I can't even go anywhere to get the stuff I need. So I went to go set up the powder coating gun. I don't have any way of connecting this to air. Like, all of these fittings, way too big. Those are all 3/8. That's 1/4 inch that goes into the gun. I tried robbing the one out of the sand blaster. That is also 3/8 and not 1/4 inch. You're 3/8 and not 1/4 inch. This fucking dude, I'm so Ah! Okay. I can't powder coat you today because I don't have the stuff, but what I can do is go ahead and get it ready to be powder coated, which is masking up everything that needs masked and getting the plugs in. So I guess I'll just do that right now. Okay, well, seeing as I literally can't do too much right now since I need shit and it's Sunday night and everywhere's closed, let's go jet back to the house. I'm gonna go get some of this shit ordered so that way we can get this thing going. I'm gonna find a driver's seat bracket. I'm going to grab the mounts for the passenger seat so that way we can get that mounted up. I'm going to get that air fitting for this powder coating gun right here. Or I'm gonna see if my cheap ass Harbor Freight one at the house has this fitting so I can capture it that way and do it. I'm just gonna go, I'm gonna order coilovers for this thing. I'm done. I'm done fucking around with this car. I want it to work. I'm angry at myself. I'm only mad at myself right now, but I'm mad at myself. So next morning, as I'm sure you guys know, so last night I just hopped on, I ordered stuff for the Evo again. So I ordered the coilovers. I just ordered a normal set of BCBR coilovers for the Evo. I ordered a press for the shop. I ordered the driver's side seat bracket. I had to buy a different brand because apparently the planted one is like out of stock everywhere. So I got a Sparco one. Doesn't matter to me. Same, it'll work. So as well as some other stuff that I needed, the air fittings, some other small miscellaneous Evo stuff. So that way, all that small shit that I was missing at the shop, I'll have now, so I can actually get work done on the Evo. I'm tired of it. Just for me, it's like as soon as the Evo works, like yeah, I want the Evo to like run. I want it to make power and I want it to work. But on the other side, I also want the shop space so that way I can do side jobs for you guys, installing parts on your car, doing motor builds in there and whatnot, and all sorts of stuff in that shop space. So I need to get that Evo out of there and working. So, you know, we're making progress on it. But I have the Evo's wheels temporarily on the STI, and they don't look bad at all. Evo 8 wheels on an STI. Not bad looking. Not bad at all. So that's all I got for you guys on this one. I didn't get nearly as much done on the Evo as I had originally planned or wanted to. But I mean, without going and doing all the stuff we just did, I wouldn't have known I was missing some of those smaller parts and the stuff that we needed. So, you know, it's a win. Plus, we have a press now. I ordered a press. I ordered the Jiglr press. It had good reviews. So we'll see if it's any good. But anyways, that's all I got for you guys on this one. The motor for the Evo should be coming back here in a couple weeks. Same with the giveaway engine. Once that giveaway engine comes back, we're going to be building it here on the channel. So as soon as it comes in, we'll build it. You guys can watch it being built. We'll do the winner, the giveaway. We'll do the stuff. Someone's going to win a 500 wheel horsepower EJ25. If you want to get entered into that, you guys know how. Go hop on the website. Every $25 you guys spend is equivalent to 1 entry. No cap on entry, so you can order as many as you want, get entered as many times as you want. So with that, if you guys like the video, I just hit myself in the face. If you guys like the video, you know what to do. Go ahead and hit that like button, turn it black, blue, green, yellow, purple, silver, cyan, whatever color it turns for you. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel and you want to be one of these corners, I'm not going to tell you to do it. You're just going to do it if you want to do it. And with that, I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, homies.